Wait, let me do that again. I meant to do a peace sign. Hey guys, well, okay, I'm gonna do that again. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh, it feels so weird saying that. This is still so new for me. But today I'm gonna be talking about how I got into USC and specifically their BFA Musical Theater program, because if you look up USC's BFA Musical Theater program, there are no YouTube videos about it because it is a new major at USC. I'm actually in the inaugural class, which is so exciting. I absolutely love it. I'm having a great time. I mean, obviously it's not the same being online, but the faculty, my cohort, the experience that I'm getting is just unreal, and I couldn't be more grateful. So let's get started. All right, so first off, I'm gonna start with my USC application. I had to do a common application, and I remember that was due December 1st. With that, I had to do my personal essay. I wrote about being a first-gen student coming from younger parents who had me while they were in high school, my experience growing up with that, and I think that really set me apart because it wasn't a typical story. I wrote about what my purpose was going to be as an actor, why I wanted to go into this field and this industry. A big part of that is being Latina. I think that there should be more representation in the film industry, musical theater too. There isn't enough, and just for a lot of other identity groups. And even if there is representation, some of the representation that's already out there isn't exactly, it's not the best. But basically, I wrote my essay, I submitted that, besides my common application, where I also included my statistics, my GPA, where I stood in my class, and my SAT, ACT scores. I also had to do a video audition. This was called pre-screens. So with our pre-screens, I had to do 2 monologues, one classical and one contemporary, 2 songs, one older, I think pre-1934 musical theater, and then one now or contemporary musical theater piece. And then, and then after that, I also had to do 2 dance pieces to find a song that not a lot of people would have. I'm sure you hear that a lot with musical theater pre-screen auditions, not to find something that's overused. But if you do happen to find something that is a typically popular song, if you feel comfortable with it and you think you kill that song and it's your best material, then show it. That's what they want to see, is you really showing your authentic, true self in the audition and not trying to be someone you're not. So just keep that in mind for the audition. You don't always have to do something from an underground, discreet musical, but I was lucky that I found a song that really resonated with me and I connected with, that happened to not be an extremely popular one. And then for my second piece, I did Aldanza for Man of La Mancha, and then I translated it to Spanish to kind of, another way to kind of stick out a little bit, to really show how proud I am of being Latina and my roots. I really wanted to showcase that in my audition because, like I said, they really want to see you putting out your authentic, true self, especially at USC. I think that's one of the biggest things that they're known for in SDA, so make sure that you're really showing who you are in the audition. Same for my monologues. I chose 2 pieces that I thought kind of represented me. I did for my for my classical piece, I did a piece from Arden of Feversham. Why am I blanking out? And then for my contemporary piece, I did Misha's monologue from Lydia. This was actually a boy monologue, but the piece was really, I was planning on doing one of the girl pieces from that show. Misha's monologue in particular just really stuck out to me. And after reading it, I was kind of just like, is it that bad if I do a guy monologue? Are they gonna have a problem with it? But my acting teacher pushed me to go for it, and I did it. They actually really liked it. I think the biggest reason that it worked doing a boy monologue for my contemporary piece was because I decided to go for it despite the fact that it didn't fit my gender. And I didn't play it as a guy either. I just told the story, because at the end of the day, it's all about storytelling. And that's what they push for here at USC's SDA. Now that I'm taking classes. I think it's so funny that I was so torn about doing this boy monologue when now in my classes we have gender bends all the time. It just goes to show that I ended up at the right place, because with theater I love crossing barriers, and I've been really trying to push myself to take more risks. USC is really supportive of that. It was really a perfect match for me. And basically, after I submitted my pre-screen video auditions, I got an email about a month, I believe, later, saying that they wanted me to come in person to do a callback. And so it was actually a callback weekend. It was 2 days. And I remember showing up and I wasn't in the best mood. I was really tired because I had already gone through all my other auditions. It was the very last one. I was over it. I just wanted to hear back from school. Also not crazy about USC because I really wanted to go to New York, somewhere on the East Coast. This was one of the schools that I was not sure about. I didn't think I would get in. I went through the callback weekend and I remember there being a lot of people, and we did workshops and classes, and it was a whole day experience, and it was so different from all the other schools where it was just go in, slate, do your piece, get out. This school in particular just dedicated a whole weekend to the callback experience, which was unlike any other school. I think it says a lot about USC's BFA program. Throughout the whole day, I got to meet the other kids, make some friends, really work with the faculty. After I did my monologue piece, they even gave me some tips. They had me do a part of my song again. Just a very interactive audition, which I hadn't gotten from most of my other auditions. After that weekend, I didn't feel too good, honestly. I wasn't crazy about the school. I was so stubborn that I was going to get out of California and I wasn't going to be close to home and I wanted to get far. I went in with this negative mindset. Looking back, I don't know why I was so stubborn about it, because there's nothing wrong with California. If anything, I actually now see myself living here for the rest of my life. After my callback, I didn't really think too much about USC. I was still set on East Coast. I heard back, I got into a couple BFA programs. Then I narrowed it down to 2 schools. One was in New York, and then the other one was actually USC. The one in New York was a great BFA Musical Theatre program, been around for a while, had a great reputation for their training. But the school itself didn't have a great reputation. And I even noticed when I told people that I got into USC and then I would list the other schools I got into, people would light up when I said USC. Or if they were a USC alumni, they would just go crazy and encourage me to go there. The reaction I got was really intense in comparison to the other schools. So that kind of stuck out to me a lot. And then I even noticed when I was deciding, I was contacting the schools. I remember getting personal emails from the USC School of Dramatic Arts after I had contacted them, just really encouraging me to consider the school. You could tell that they took their time and efforts and they really wanted me there. I got to tour the campus for a day and experience USC life. They just had a lot of events planned. They had an event in San Diego that I got to go to and meet other students that had gotten in and were deciding. USC just put in so much effort, and it just said a lot about the school. I was so stubborn about going to the East Coast, but to have the opportunity to be a part of a brand new program and be a part of creating it from scratch just seemed incredible. And the fact that the program is a cross between Kaufman School of Dance, Thornton School of Music, and School of Dramatic Arts, 3 really prestigious arts programs in California, just all combined together with brand new faculty, it just seemed like an offer I couldn't pass up, that I wasn't going to get again. To say that I was in the inaugural first year class and to really be a part of building something and setting the standard and creating a legacy just seemed so unique and special. And so I honestly think that was a big driving factor as to why I chose USC. After being so set on this other school that I was going to go to, I remember going back and forth with my dad. I was like, no, I'm going to go to this school. I'm going to go to this school in New York. And one day I was just really contemplating it, and I really slept on it and thought about it. And I don't know, it just, all the cards kind of lined up for USC and living in California. I went for it and now I'm here and I couldn't be happier, honestly. And I'm not even exaggerating. I'm really happy here. So blessed that my parents have pushed me to pursue a degree in musical theater and are okay with it, because I did get a lot of reactions of, oh, well, what's your backup plan? Or are you gonna minor in like something real? Or are you gonna double major in something else? Because what kind of degree is that, you know? And my parents are very all or nothing, you know? No plan B, else that's going to become your plan A. Just go for it, you know, full force, give 110%. They've always encouraged me to do anything I set my mind to, and I'm honestly so lucky for that. So if it weren't for them, I don't know where I'd be right now, honestly. So thanks, Mom and Dad, if you're watching. My experience as a BFA Musical Theater major at USC has not been typical because of COVID, but it's worked so far, and I've learned so much and improved immensely. USC has just really allowed me to take risks and push myself and take up space and go for it. I've definitely been able to learn from some of the greatest faculty and professors. Told me in high school, some of the people that I would meet and speak to and work with, I would not believe you. The workload is kind of a lot, but it's definitely manageable. I did come from a performing arts high school, so I think I was a little bit used to having like a heavy artistic workload, because in high school I would stay after school all the time for rehearsals and then go home and practice and then singing lessons and things like that. I think that really prepared me for going into a BFA program. So my schedule here was pretty busy, just always on the go, but still able to fit in a social life, you know, weekends, fun things. But honestly, I live for that. I love being busy. Whenever I'm not busy, I'm like, what am I doing? And still, even when it went online, I feel like the workload even kind of built up a little bit. So I didn't have too many moments where I was bored. And I do have to say, my cohort is pretty lit. If any of you guys are watching, I love you all so much. My cohort is pretty awesome, and I can't wait to see them dominate Broadway and film and television one day, because they're all gonna do great things. So yeah, and it's really cool that we are the inaugural class.
It's pretty freaking dope.
So yeah, that's my experience so far with USC's BFA Musical Theater program. If anyone is interested in auditioning for USC's BFA Musical Theater program, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. I am an SDA ambassador, so I have a lot of information about the School of Dramatic Arts and being a student in this program, a lot of information in regards to that. That's my little spiel on how I got into USC and my experience with the BFA Musical Theater program. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I said it right this time. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right, bye.